Pokémon! Yo, it's pretty unusual today for me because I took a Switch and I decided to make a review about the game called Pokemon. Pokemon! The Legends, Z to A Mega Dimension. Well, perhaps due to base game getting a delay in order to create the Switch 2 version, Pokemon Legends A to Z has broken Fire Emblem Engage record for fastest expansion pass completion in Nintendo history. This has led to a lot of accusation to the Mega Dimension portion of the DLCs and etc. But who cares now? So DLC is clearly designed as post-game content, as first battle I encountered after downloading the second update was at level 75. Following the battle, Team MZ falls into a doubled hyperspace limousine in order to save a girl named Anta, who is accompanied by the mythical Pokemon Hoopa, who seemingly cannot battle, but can use its dimension warping abilities to move the player in out of hyperspace limousine on a temporary basis thanks to power of the donuts. A massive portal to hyperspace limousine opens up cover the center of the town as the player completes objectives in the hyperspace. Lumiose portal open to new rogue mega Pokemon who thankfully can be dealt with 3-on-1 throughout some of the later rogue megas have levels of power the main character never touched. The end goal is simple. Close the giant portal and help Anta discover a legendary Pokemon she ran into on her way into town. So this is the start, the beginning of the plot, but what really feels like DLC was designed specifically for handled play, since the time limits for exploding the zones start out low and it takes until the end game before you have the materials to give a lot of time to exploration. The donut system borrows some elements from the sandwiches Scarlet and Violet in that with enough power you can unlock enhancements like higher item drop rates, damage buffs reduction, and perhaps most importantly for the internet, at large and haze shiny and alpha Pokemon rates. But getting the point to that you can do this high-end donuts requires clearing throughout the main story quickly in order to unlock more powerful donuts ingredients, which is usually gathered throughout clearing a research. Playing Mega Dimension eventually unlocks 80 different side quests, and if I manage to clear 20 of them, in my playthrough, I called that a success, even accounting for ones that unlock new mega stones and clothing options. I made sure to gun for. I mean, I go through the city with my Nintendo Switch too, and I fly. It's actually not mine, but and I get all the TMs I don't know during the playthrough, but didn't even have the time to do that. This is a challenge, is an aspect to the hyper space zone, since in order to proceed, you have to complete three objectives. Well, those objectives are pretty similar to the professor research in Pokemon zones. But later on the battle objectives in zones, there are similar bonus cards that might have been picked through the 1,000 battles or to get the final professor research rank 50 in the base game. While which DLC does offer research points for the new Pokédex, roughly it's 130 Pokémons, new ranks for the Mega Pokédex, and of ours, points for exploring zones, which means you more than likely get the endgame rewards on the Shiny Charm. If you did the exercise post-game grinding to get this, I'm sorry for you. In addition to freeing you from multiple bottle breakfasts as the restaurants, Mega Dimension also brings some other things that result annoyances, and if I have in some cases for years. This game throws experience candy at you like it's going on the style, so you don't have to buy it by using the mega shards, but also unlocks a group of new moves that can be bought with the shards you will pick up by growth in the zones. Without getting into the spoilers, for some of the stuff that shows up later on the game in its DLC's post game. There are now only 6 Pokemon out of 1025 that are not permanently available on Switch, and 2 of them will likely become available when the Scarlet and Violet stop getting a Terra Raid updates. Yeah. So, the Z2A battle system even allows moves that I never touched with a 10-foot pole to have use it in a story battle, such as the old one-hit kill moves, which are now TMs in Mega Dimension. And I enjoy running double battles with other trainers using Z2A battle system, which is used for first battle and some of the side quests. There were a couple other things that did annoy me in the course of the playthrough, one seemingly technical and one is aesthetic. I was using the returning star door for a good portion of the playthrough. As a main item gathered since battle a flying type, it could get to floating item boxes easily. And it was first shiny. I found DLC 2. Multiple times I would lock in to items in environment, commit the attack, and Starper would fly off a couple hundred meters in the other direction to the point where I had to call it back and repeat the attack. I'm not sure if this is intentional or not, but it's realistic annoying under a time limit, and I never had the problem in the main game. The aesthetic problem is that the limousine doesn't have much environmental variety to begin with, bearing severes, and if you don't roll a sewer zone, you just get a cityscape but with extra grape. It's not exactly beating the drab accusations. That said, the new music is enjoyable, with a particular notice to the song was pulled straight from Legends, Arceus for well earned reason near the end of the story. Well, I'm not sure which of the DLC campaigns for Pokemon we got in the last 12 months I prefer, but they are similar. Both Mega Dimension and the Indigo Disc focus on double battles and high level combat plus bring in Pokemon that we hard to impossible to get on Switch before. Though I do like replaying the Indigo Disc, the Z2A twist on the former is definitely worth grabbing after you had fill of the main game. Just remember to do all the side quests first, since the first thing they advise for Mega Dimension, the Mega Racialist. So let's talk about what I didn't like. Uh, Pokemon's went wildly, of course. There are some highly encourages and mailing and the sideline side quest, and there's no like environmental variety. You know what I mean? So what did I like? It's very easy to dip in out. It's lots of wild surprises, and it's easy to play. You don't have to sweat, which is good. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and of course, subscribe. Bye.